Qu'est-ce que c'est l'OGM? Selon le site web anglais Non-GMO Project, l'OGM ou organisme génétiquement modifié est une plante, un animal, un micro-organisme ou un auto-organisme avec les gènes qui ont été modifiés dans un laboratoire. En modifiant les gènes, on peut créer des combinaisons des plantes, animaux, virus et des gènes bactériens qui n'existent pas dans la nature. Aujourd'hui, l'OGM est estimé très controversé. Quelques personnes pensent que l'OGM est bénéfique, et c'est vrai. Les produits d'OGM peuvent alimenter notre société d'une manière viable et économique. Cependant, d'autres personnes croient que l'OGM est dangereux parce que, selon le site web Livestrong, le produit d'OGM pourrait nuire l'environnement et notre santé. Pour explorer plus profondément cette controverse, nous avons interviewé les élèves et un professeur de la biologie à Madeira. Trinity est un élève à Madeira. Elle aime la science, particulièrement la biologie. Elle a étudié la biologie depuis 4 ans et elle est fascinée par l'OGM. Have you heard of GMO or genetically modified organisms before?
Yeah, I have. We studied it in class several years ago.
And are you aware of the controversy surrounding GMO?
I am. I know there are some people who support it and some people who don't.
First of all, we know that you are from India. According to Genetically Modified Foods website, GMO can help increase the production of crops. Obviously, this can be very beneficial for developing countries with a very large population. However, GMO products can also harm our health as they are most often chemically contaminated. So, as a student from India, what are your thoughts on this issue? Do you think GMO products should be banned in developing countries or not?
Alright, so personally, my opinion on GMO, since it can hurt the environment and also the health of the people who consume it, personally I think GMO should be banned, or at the very least that foods that contain GMO should be labeled so that people know what exactly they're consuming. However, when it comes to developing countries like India that have large populations and not enough resources to feed them, the issue becomes a lot more complex, so I don't have any opinion on that.
What do you think is the majority opinion amongst teenagers on the use of GMO products?
Honestly, I don't think most teenagers today even really know what GMO is or the consequences that it can have. So it should be a priority to educate them on what exactly GMO is.
C'est Madame Freeman. Elle est un professeur de la biologie à Madeira.
To start off, can you explain the benefits and dangers of utilizing GMO products?
Sure. I don't think you can say there's I don't think you can make a blanket statement about dangers. I think you have to take it on a case-by-case basis for each product. One concern I've heard that people have is that if you created a genetically modified organism that has some new thing in it, that somebody could be allergic to that new thing that you've added to that. So that's sort of the main concern I've heard with people, that people have with GMOs. In terms of benefits, there's so many things. There's GMOs that we can eat, and then there's GMOs that can be used for other things. So like there's bacteria that we've created that make human insulin that saves diabetics' lives. So that's a really big deal, a good thing. And in terms of foods, you can make food more nutritious, you can make food easier to grow, you can make it so that you're growing more food on the same amount of land. So I think there are some benefits in terms of like feeding hungry people around the world.
Mm-hmm. Can you also explain why modified genes have potential risks?
I think the concern is that what you're doing with genetically modified organisms is you're taking a gene from one species and putting it in a whole different species. For instance, a famous one is they took a gene from a certain kind of fish that lives in cold water, and they put that gene in tomato plants to help them resist cold temperatures. So people are concerned that maybe you could be adding something that could be harmful. But I think some of these concerns are not based in fact. I think some of it is just people being scared for no reason. I think people think that when you're doing making genetically modified organisms, they think that you're messing with nature. But I like to remind people that humans have been messing with nature since about 10 to 12,000 years ago, when we first started domesticating plants and animals and raising them as crops and livestock. But yeah, I think the main concern is people just don't necessarily fully understand it, and they want to know, okay, if you're putting this new gene in my food, what is it actually adding? What is, Okay, so I think where the confusion about toxin might come in is there's this particular thing called Bt toxin, and it's in some of the genetically modified crops, specifically corn, I think, and it's in order to prevent caterpillars from eating the corn plants. But I think people hear the word toxin and they think it hurts people, but it actually is not harmful to people. It's only harmful to those caterpillars. It works very specifically on those caterpillars.
What is your opinion on GMO? Do you think GMO should be banned, and if it should be, for what reasons?
So I don't think it should be banned. I think it should be taken on a case-by-case basis, like I said before, just with looking at each individual, whether it's a food or other kind of genetically modified product, looking at how it could benefit society, and obviously testing it to make sure it's not harmful to people or even to the environment in which it's growing. But I don't think it should be everything is banned or everything is okay. I think it should be, there's testing on each individual thing. I'm all for GMOs if it can help people. I mean, like I said, the classic example, the very first major product that was ever made through GMOs was the human insulin. And before that, people who were diabetic had to inject themselves with cow insulin or pig insulin. Like, that was their only choice. And now they can use human insulin, which is better.
Do you think they should be labeled?
I personally don't care. Like, I don't care if I buy stuff that's GMO without me knowing it. So I personally don't care if it's labeled or not. I think if it makes people happy, sure. I don't think there's a problem with it.
During research, we found this website called Genetically Modified Foods. It says that GMO products can harm our health, our nervous system, and the environment. Is this true?
Yeah, see, I think they're making an overall statement.
Yeah.
They're trying to apply it to every GMO when maybe it's just one particular one, or maybe it's not even. Maybe it's just totally exaggerated and overblown. I don't know. A lot of times when you find websites like that, they're biased one way or the other. I don't think that statement is true as a whole. I think maybe there could be something out there that is, potentially causing problems, but I don't think it's fair of that website to make that statement and scare people.
There seems to be misconceptions around GMO products. People seem to think that GMO products are only foods products or crops and stuff.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
how do you think we should raise awareness about this issue and let people know more about other types of GMOs, like viruses and bacteria and stuff, like you were saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess if more and more people just know science, I think that's the best thing. I don't know how individuals can promote it. I guess you can talk about it to your friends. And I don't know, maybe TED Talk or something would be good. I don't know. I think also outside of the United States, it's become a bigger deal. I think in Europe and maybe other parts of the world, there is this really strong anti-GMO sentiment, and I'm not sure why, but it is there. I think it's a little bit less in the United States, but it might be growing. So I don't know. I mean, I think people just need to know more science and trust the science and the evidence more.
Okay, so we're just gonna play a little game. The first question is a yes or no question. So, do you know anything about GMO products or GMO?
Input.
Okay, so the next part is the true or false section. True or false? GMO products or foods are labeled in the United States. Second question, GMO products are only limited to foods or crops.
True or false, we eat GMO foods every day or almost every day.
Can I do both?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, because if I'm aware of it, I will avoid it. But sometimes it's just not mentioned, especially when it comes to byproducts from the corns.
Yeah. The last part is a yes or no question.
Okay.
So do you mind that we are eating GMO foods like every day or almost every day?
Oui.
En interviewant plusieurs adultes et étudiantes de Madeira, nous apprenons que les gens savent généralement la définition d'OGM et ont des connaissances de base sur le sujet. Il est intéressant de noter que la plupart des adolescents savent qu'ils mangent la produit OGM tous les jours et acceptent ce fait. Les étudiants pensent que le sujet d'OGM n'a pas d'aucune importance. En contraire, les adultes que nous avons interviewés se soucient du sujet et ne veulent pas manger les produits de l'OGM. L'OGM continue à être controversé. Différentes personnes ont de différentes opinions. L'OGM a probablement de bienfaits. Dans certains cas, il augmente la production et résiste mieux aux pesticides. Mais il y a toujours deux côtés à la médaille. Certains OGM sont mal pour l'environnement et beaucoup de gens pensent qu'ils nuisent la santé. Nous devons encourager et financer plus de recherches scientifiques pour connaître davantage les OGM. Donc, la question finale est, qu'en pensez-vous?